A Halfling Sonder, Sven's Story, by Illyria Valischin. Chapter 3. An irritating ringing wakes Sven from a pleasant dream. Grumbling to himself, he rolls to the edge of the bed and heaves himself up, then walks around to turn them off before giving a long stretch in the center of his room. Slightly more awake, he grabs for his clothes and gets dressed, excited to greet the day and what he might accomplish. Heading off downstairs, he makes his way to the kitchen and picks out a fresh fruit to eat. Stepping out into the morning air, the quietness of the town is felt all around. While most are still curled up in their warm beds, Sven notes that a few shopkeepers have ventured out to greet the day, nodding to each as he passes, observing that some are even getting little display tables set up, in hopes of bringing in some more customers. Turning down another side street, he makes his way across the 2 or so blocks. As he rounds the final corner, he spots Mr. Leatherthimble already hard at work bringing out last night's stretched hides. "Good morning, Mr. Leatherthimble," Sven says. "Good morning, Sven," Mr. Leatherthimble replies. "Glad you can crawl out of bed and join me this morning. Come and help get the rest of the hides out before we lose most of the morning." "Yup," Sven says while rushing forward, eager to start the work. It doesn't take long with the 2 of them working side by side, when Mr. Leatherthimble takes a step back and he begins to count out the hides to himself. A slight frown crosses his face as he does it again. This causes Sven to feel a bit uneasy, wondering if he may have made a mistake. After another moment's pause, Mr. Leatherthimble heads inside and straight for the closet behind the counter. Not wanting to miss an order, Sven follows close behind. When he steps in the doorway, some long poles are thrusted into his arms, and Mr. Leatherthimble gestures to the counter. "Something wrong?" Sven asks. "We don't have enough wall space for the rest of the hides to lean against, so we need to put up these collapsible walls for them to rest on. You can build them fairly quick. The instructions should be tied to one of the poles." Mr. Leatherthimble gestures to the pile on the counter. "I'm going to shave some of the hides I got in yesterday." "All right," Sven says, as he picks the pile up and takes it outside. Placing the poles and locks on the ground, he begins to search for the instructions, organizing the poles in height as he searches. Nearing the last few poles, he spots it wrapped tightly around the middle of a longer pole. Putting it to the side, he continues to sort out the last few on the ground, then turns his attention to the instructions and begins to read. Each one of the different sizes makes a small section of the wall, giving examples of how it can be made into 3 smaller sections or 1 bigger one. Wanting to make sure that he is understanding, he reads them over a few times, not wanting to recreate the fiasco he did while trying to gain the apprenticeship in Mr. Wormork's shop. Managing to get it down mostly into his short-term memory, he sets down the paper with the smallest pile and begins to build the biggest wall of the options he can create. The first section manages to go up easily for him, and he is able to attach it to the side of the shop. With it standing firm, he grabs a few of the furs and lines them up facing the sun. Checking the location, he can tell that it is almost mid-morning. The feeling of the day is wasting away quickly causes him to hasten his speed. Grabbing the poles for the second section, he places the joints together a bit faster than the first one. When the second section is just about done, the other side gives out and crumbles to the ground. A bit stunned by this, he tries to figure what step he might have missed. As he tries to piece it back together, concern washes over him. "Oh wow, that isn't good." He heads to the door and calls out, "Mr. Leatherthimble, the wood on this one isn't good." Then he walks over to the final wall pieces to see if the same thing has happened to them as well. "What do you mean?" Mr. Leatherthimble asks as he appears at the door. Sven points to the broken second section of wall and says, "It fell apart when I tried to put it together. The first one went just fine." He gestures over to it, the hides already nicely aligned against it, as he continues to work on getting the third wall together. But once again, as he gets to the final lock, one of the sides cracks and breaks. Unsure if he did it right or wrong, Sven walks back to the instructions and goes over it again. Meanwhile, Mr. Leatherthimble has walked over to the second wall and gives it a good look. "Stop everything," Mr. Leatherthimble hollers out. Sven stops immediately, thinking that he has made another catastrophic mistake. He looks over at Mr. Leatherthimble, who is holding a corner piece and shaking his head in pure frustration. Thank you for listening to my story. If you liked it, please like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications.